Over is a dystopian America story.
I would consider this probably a one-act musical theater piece.
The show is awesome. The show is fun.
I thought it was the beta test for something that will eventually happen on Broadway. But, you know, the beta of the beta of the beta.
Just a really creative, cool idea that you had.
Essentially, the plot, it's set in dystopian America, where the American government has been taken over by Beth Jezo, who he basically turned America into a dictatorship.
So the show's a one-act musical theater piece, and it's about, a big source of power taking over and creating all these, idealistic, right-winged Christian laws.
There's this supreme overlord, who's the character that I played, Beth Jezo, who has enacted a whole bunch of rules, and the company has to deal with those rules or try and find a way around it.
And so it kind of like follows a few of these outcast souls as they wander the sort of post-apocalyptic world in search of something greater, and also kind of running from that right-wing tyranny.
Gather round and listen in for what I have to say. Here's a story, tried and true, a tale of sad decay. 2030 came around and gave the world a quake. Down we fell, it wiped us out, and everything we made.
Working with composers is my favorite part about the job. Or summer break's pretty cool too. But is just like trying to dive into your brain, and then like just, I always think of it like trying to help add spice or whatever, or make, like you think about cooking. Don't think about Utah cooking. Like, how do you make this better? And that's what I'm always trying to do, is like, let's try to enhance this, let's try to enhance that. I don't want to put my touch on it at all. It's like, I just want to make this yours, and then what can we do to make it better. And I feel like the communication thing was just spot on.
The first step was coming up with a point. What's the message I'm trying to get across? And at the end of the show, it was pretty much just love the people you're with. You have friends, and value your friends, because they make life worth it. So having that idea and then coming up with a plot to revolve around it. And then there were logistical things where it's like, what can I actually do? I don't have money, I don't have a budget for this, so it's like, how many people am I going to have in it? How long is it going to be? So defining my limitations, and then once that happened, I went to work.
1, 2, 1, 2,
Tennessee, a place where we can live and truly be free.
So I had the whole plot written out, and then it became time to write the tunes. So it was deciding how many tunes do I want to throw in, and then going to a lot of references. I found myself looking at a lot of like Disney music.
I've reached the top and had to stop, and that's what's bothering me.
Ever since the earth
world broke open, I saw a light, a time for change.
And then it just became systematic, write the tunes one by one. And I had text the lyrics of the songs as I wrote them. So then once all that was in place, I kind of crafted the script around what was sung in the songs. Once I had all the music and all the text in place, came notation. I was just going in and scoring, writing out every part, every word, just to convey as much as I could to the musicians and the actors. And then once that was in place, it came time to start rehearsing.
I think the format was a little more loose too, open to interpretation. It wasn't like you have to play these notes, you have to say this exactly, you have to, so that was kind of refreshing as well.
There was your vision of the thing, and then how is it managed from you on out while you're a musician on stage? Just the idea of that is kind of marvelous. Working with people who have little, if any, experience on stage and having it turn out that well.
I want to get away, find a proper home. Not much is left for us, scavenge on our own. It's just a pack of lies, things aren't as they seem. No more paradise, apocalyptic dream.
Thank God I had an assistant director, because she was the real MVP in this process. She was the one who was jotting down notes and saying, okay, you need to be over here for this. Or even to the band, she made critiques to us of our own performance. And that was so valuable, just because playing the music for it, I'm kind of tunnel visioned to what's going on as the whole.
I came to rehearsals, I gave notes, I took attendance, I helped the choreographers, I blocked some stuff, I pressed play, I filmed things, a lot of things. I figured out costuming, I scheduled some stuff.
As people started to get a better grasp of their lines and the dance moves, it just came time we just ran the show.
Halt right there! You may have evaded me last time, but I'll get you now!
The music was written very simple, so there was a lot of room to kind of insert your own flavor or style. I think that because we had a very kind of small pit with those of us that have played together in other ensembles or been around each other for a while, I thought it was pretty easy. I mean, we had all the music down, practicing on our own before we ever got with the cast.
Feeling as an actor and learning my part, I've been doing theater for a really long time, so that wasn't that big of a deal, especially because how short of a play it was just a one act. So that wasn't anything crazy, but there could have been things that were better, obviously, as most things were, but I think it was as smooth as it could be, for somebody putting on their first musical, so.
I feel like it was pretty relaxed compared to other musical endeavors that I've done. The directors for those have been a little bit more serious, and there's been a lot more rehearsals. Well, obviously, this was all volunteer work and for just a one-act thing, so there wasn't as much expected. I do think there could have been a little bit more rehearsals, but it was hard to get the whole cast together on such short notice. But besides that, I do think it turned out well with the time that was used and the directing that was given. So.
The biggest challenge was attendance. We only had like, I think 14 rehearsals start to finish, and they were all spread out a week apart. So it was like one Tuesday, we'd have like only half of the cast there, and then another Tuesday, we'd have like the other half of the cast there, and a couple of stragglers. So it's like, okay, I have to redo a bunch of stuff that we already did and fill people in. But that only happened once or twice, and probably like just not having the director be able to watch it and tell me if it was good.
For me, it was more like the musical experience, and yes, we had, you know, our role was to help the overall production in a way, but the fact that we got to be a part of that production, and it was a little more, you know, self-aware, the play was.
7 days later.
I love when, during my main song, I get carried around by my thugs, my side henchmen. They pick me up and I ride in their arms like in a seat, and then they throw me at the end and I land on my feet. I love that part.
The birds had large rebel against me. I'll show them how mean can be. Finally, yes, new order has come. Oh, shall I bow to the chosen?
There were a lot of laughs during it. One of my favorite lines that I think is hilarious is when, was it Guy? That was his name? The guy who was at the door?
Oh, yeah.
He's like, because we're talking about like fascists, and then he's like, I don't know if we're the fastest here, but...
We seek sanctuary, good sir. We heard rumors of a place safe from the fascists. They relentlessly pester us with their constricting ways.
Well, I don't know about any other sanctuaries, but I don't think we're the fastest here.
Fascist, not fastest.
Yeah, fastest. Anyways.
I think my favorite part of the whole thing was our little dance where we got to, I got to like take off my James Bond suit and my attire and my bow tie and everything. Got to jump up and act like an idiot and swing my coat off, and all of us had like a dance break in the middle of the production, and everyone just had to wait for us.
New Jersey.
Alright, we got some sweet.
I'm the sweetest bitch you'll ever meet. After I have sex with a guy, I will rip their heads off.
When we came to the conclusion, and I had that song where Tony took the picture, I'm holding the staff, yeah, and I was at the point right then where I could express the sentiment of the best part of my life was being with you guys.
And be free. All the time we spent was the best of my life. It's all about the journey, not just where you're going. It's all about the faces you meet along the way.
Final remark would be, it's a hell of a thing to pull off a musical, and it's only because of the people who volunteered their time and did so much. So at the end of the day, I can't complain about how it turned out because the writing was genius and all the people in it had like very clear, distinct moments of genius, and it's all because of the volunteer work.
I might just get a raise.